Hello. I know. It's been a while since I've done any kind of video. You just see I've been kicking about in the garden with a dog and that. It's a beautiful day. The problem is that I just don't do Aprils, which may sound weird, but let me tell you why I don't do April. Let's roll. Hello. It's been a while. I don't think I've done a video since like mid-March maybe, or the start of March. I don't do Aprils, and I'll explain why. It's a bit of a emotional kind of roller coaster month. Let me just tell you what I've been doing. So, towards the end of March, I just started feeling a bit under the weather. Really heady, foggy, down in the dumps, just feeling crap, to be honest. And I didn't really know why. But then a couple of days before the start of April, I just thought, it's obviously something to do, maybe subconsciously or whatever, but it's the anniversary of my mum passing away. And she passed away 4 years ago, from the big C, which is fucking horrific. I didn't really have a lot to do with my mum, but all the same, it was my mum at the end of the day, and it was a horrific fucking time in my life. Like, we found out, and then 2 weeks later, she passed away. It was fucking horrendous. Like, but nobody can prepare for that kind of shit, and it's, sorry for swearing, but yeah, bad. As I say, I didn't really have a lot to do with her for like 20 odd years, but I was there for the last 2 weeks. We sort of got back in touch, and although we weren't really friendly with each other, it was still heartbreaking to witness that happening. Not good. So I was thinking that maybe like that was the reason that I was feeling a bit cack, which is understandable. It's like every year it seems to have this thing on me where I'm not really feeling particularly emotional about it, but just like, I don't know, something just happens and I just feel down and under the weather. So it's obviously some kind of subconscious thing. But also, on the 3rd of April is my wedding anniversary. So like pretty close together, man. So I always get that low mood, and then a couple of days after it is my wedding anniversary, and it was 7 years this year, but I don't think we've ever done anything, ever celebrated my wedding anniversary. I don't think we've ever been out for dinner and stuff, but that's because of anxiety, or me. It's because of me, because I choose not to. And on the 5th of April is the anniversary of me being with my wife. So we've been together 13 years. And then, on the 19th of April, this year will be the 2nd anniversary of my wife's grandma passing away. So those of you who have seen my videos or been watching for a while, there's a video where I talk about my wife having a panic attack, and that was a week after her grandma had passed away. So like, yeah. And then also in April is the anniversary of my granddad passing away. I was only small when he did, but my dad's told me a lot about him and stuff, you know, and it's emotional times, emotional turmoil for everybody in the family. And it's not nice, it's not, I don't know, there's just this somber feeling to April, and like the sun's out, and I just don't feel myself at the moment, and it's horrible, it's not nice. And I've been having like days of just feeling freaking quite intense sensations. The last few days I've felt really, really heady and foggy thinking and just cloudy, and I can't think of any more freaking adjectives to describe it. But just not good. Really, really tense. Pressure in my ears. My nose has been stuffy. I don't know whether it's hay fever. I don't know what it is. But that's just physical sensations of probably not even anxiety. It all just freaking accumulates, doesn't it? And that's the thing. And that's why I don't like Aprils. I was going to go into like details of what happened when stuff happened and that, but obviously the funeral of my mum was in an April as well. So that wasn't a very nice experience, and I remember it really clearly, obviously. I remember the whole freaking thing really clearly. What I don't really remember is before it, because I didn't really have much contact with my mum, as I say. But it was a real bad experience, obviously. Fucking idiot. But I remember at the funeral, like, we got to the place and everybody else had gone in and I was outside with my wife and just a mess. I couldn't even bring myself to go in there. And because I'm dealing with, like, the emotion of not ever resolving issues that I had with my mum before, the horrific way that it all came about, plus the fact that everybody there really knows that there's been beef between me and my mum and stuff, and I didn't feel like I had not any right to be there. She was my mum. She brought me in, you know? I just didn't feel like I should be up there talking about anything. Like, my brother said words at the front of the place, the crematorium and that, and I didn't. Because I wouldn't, because I couldn't, because not only do I have fucking crazy ass anxiety as well, like, and that I couldn't tell whether it was emotions that were making me feel real bad or because anxiety was making me feel bad. It just all just came to a head, and I just had to sit at the back of the place with my wife and just get through the service, man, and it was bad, real bad. But what freaking funeral ain't bad, you know? And then obviously a couple of years pass, and then my wife's grandma passes away, and that was fucking crazy bad. My anxiety was through the fucking roof at that. I think I did the video not long after it. Maybe. I don't even know, man. It's stressing me out now. I feel like crap for some reason. I'm just talking about it. But like, the funeral was over in Suffolk, which is about 130 miles, something like that, from where I live. So obviously I've then got anxiety about going somewhere, about staying somewhere, about being around people that I don't know, about not being in my house and my comfort zone, and my wife being an emotional wreck, because she was, totally understandably. Her and her grandma were very close, you know? And then I was just a fucking wreck at that. I couldn't go in the church. I stood outside the church for my wife's grandma's funeral, and I felt tremendous guilt for that, for not being there for her. And my wife said words at the front of the church. I got up and said a few words, and I could hear, because I was standing outside the door. There was like a hallway in the church, and I did go in. I stood at the back, but it was so overwhelming, and I really regret that. That's probably one of very few regrets that I have in my life, is that I didn't collapse and die in that church, because that's how prepared I should have been to be in there. Wow. Heartfelt. Very. Yeah. I should have been there for her. I let anxiety get the better of me. Then we had the wake, obviously, and it's just all bad, and there's nothing good that comes of these things, man. And that's how that is April. Obviously we're what, 11, 12 days off the anniversary, the second anniversary of my wife's grandma passing away. So I don't know if my wife's feeling it, if she's emotional about it. Another thing, which is April related but only this year, my wife is going to Blackpool the second week of the Easter holidays. My daughter's going to like this dancing school up there for a week, and she's going with a friend. My wife and her friend are taking their daughters to Blackpool for this thing, and I've got no problem with that. Like, we're good. We're good. It's just that I've got to be at home. Obviously, I'll have my son here. My son has recently moved in with us at home. He was living with his mum, always has. His mum has met a new fella. She's moved in with him. My lad would rather come here, which is pretty freaking similar to my story, except my son's a lot older. He's 17 and I was 11 or 10 when I moved out of my mum's. But yeah, so I'll have my son here. It's just like a week at home on my own. while all this is going on and it's all boiling away. And I don't know what to do. I don't know. I'm contemplating going away myself, which is silly because, like, I really don't want to. It's just that it might pass that time quicker. Maybe me, my son, and my dad, we've contemplated going away maybe just for like a few days, seaside, whatever. But the thing is with me, whenever I view something now, I put on my anxiety glasses and I visualise it with these anxiety tinted glasses on. So like, do I want to nip to the shop? Wait, anxiety tinted glasses on, and let's visualise what will go wrong or could. And for me, that's like the same with going away for the week, or even with my wife being away for the week. It's like I'm visualising everything. Like, what if I freak out when she's not here? Even though she's not here right now. It makes no freaking difference, you know? And she's been out for the day before, and I've been fine. But this is different. This is like 4 nights, Monday to Friday. But then the alternative to me staying here, being with my son, fending for myself for a week, is going away somewhere. And then I think back to what happened last year when we went away, like the vertigo spell that I had just before it, and then just it being horrendously bad, like the worst experience that I can remember in a long time when it comes to my own mental health. So I don't know, I'm in turmoil at the minute as to where I go from here. What do? I don't know. One thing I have been doing is, like, I've been noticing these sensations over the last couple of weeks, say the last week, that I've been trying to just sit with them. Like, I'm getting floaters. I don't know if you're familiar with floaters, but it's like dots in your eyes and stuff like that. I don't know why, but I'm just sitting there and I'm just freaking letting it happen, man. I'm just letting it happen. The other day I was sitting in there, in fact it was last night, and I was sitting watching TV, and I was sitting leaning forward on the sofa, like hands on my chin like this, and I'm just leaning forward. I can't sit back and relax, because whenever I do, I feel like I'm freaking rocking, which I'm not, but it feels like I am. But I just sat there, man, and I was just like, and what? Just do it. Just whatever. It's like now when I'm sitting here watching this, like my vision is fucking playing tricks on me. Like focusing on the lens of the camera, and then I'm looking outside and I'm switching back to that, and my head's freaking spinning out. And I'm just like, I just can't be arsed anymore to pay any attention to the symptoms. And I don't know whether it's good, I don't know whether it's bad. I really don't give a flying rat's ass at the moment. That's how I feel at the moment. It's just like walking up and down the garden and that, kicking a ball about with a dog, and I'm freaking all over the place physically. Like, I feel like my legs are going to give way and I'm wobbling, swaying, and I'm just at that point at the moment where it's just like, oh well, what will be will be. That's how I feel. And that's not to say that that's going to continue, and okay, let's take this feeling to Asda and go and stand on the second floor in Asda at the far end and look through the CDs. Because I don't feel confident. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, like, I don't know. The symptoms are just like there, and I'm not really paying them much attention. Or it's not that I'm trying to not focus on them. It's that I'm just saying, like, okay, there you are. Let's have a look at you. And that's it. Like, whether it fades before I go to bed or I just forget about it or whatever. But that's kind of where I'm at the moment. I'm trying not to... Or no, let me rephrase that. It's not that I'm not trying to think about it. I'm just like, whatever. If it's on my mind, let it be on my mind. If it's not, then who cares? That's where I'm at. You know, this is sounding a bit like a bit of a flat video, but I don't really feel flat. You know, I understand that I've got this underlying emotional connection to April, which will probably pass in time, unless something else happens, which it probably will. Because never be surprised. because life is full of challenges, but the real challenge is life. That's my takeaway from this. So that's where I'm at. If you would like to support the creation of content on this channel, or articles on Anxiety United, whatever it may be, visit patreon.com/anxietyunited. It's in the link. It's in the description, rather. I don't know where I'm at. You know what I'd really love to do with this channel? What I would really love to do, and I follow a lot of other YouTubers, not necessarily mental health stuff, just like anything, but people that go out and vlog and do different things and exploring abandoned places and going to wherever it may be and vlogging and sharing experiences that they have with their families or on their own or whatever it is. I'd really love to start doing something like that, man. And whether I can use it as some kind of platform for me to try and... It's almost like exposure therapy, isn't it? That's how I'm seeing it, sort of thing. But I'm not. It would be exposure therapy, but I don't want to see it as exposure therapy. I want to see it as me actually going to do something. So let's talk about I'm here, I'm doing this to try and beat anxiety. What I'd really, really, really like to do is to go and do something and just show my already subscribers around and just like try and share life, because I haven't really got one, and that's what I'd like to get. I'd like to get a life. Whether I'd lose subscribers and that because it wouldn't be so much about anxiety, I don't know. But you probably already clicked off the videos if you wouldn't follow me and any progress that I made that's not specifically related to me talking about anxiety and mental health. I don't know. The channel's called Anxiety United, so I don't think I'm ever going to be able to refer to myself as somebody that doesn't suffer with anxiety, because I think I always will. But it'd be nice to be able to share life and share, like, anxiety or not, you can still have a life, and this is mine, and I would like to share it with you. That's what I want to do. There, I've said it. I don't know if I will, but if I say it, then it kind of becomes a reality. That's it for now. We'll see what happens next time. I'll probably be freaking swimming in the sea off Norway. I don't know why. That's just... I won't be. Let's keep things real. Keep it real. I'm out.